Hey guys, Joey here with Joe's RV Tech DIY. We're going to check out this Wfco 8955, and then also we have the 12 volt DC distribution panel that I talked about in the last one. So this one will work for three different models, you guys. It works for the 8935, the 8945, and the 8955. And the PCB, which is the 55-PCB to be exact, has two 40 amp fuses, 11 different locations where you can put more fuses, and you can hook up 11 different wires. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You never want to go higher than 40 amps on each fuse. Remember that. If the fuse keeps blowing, you have a direct short somewhere on that 12 volt DC fuse. And you want to find that direct short. Now, if you have ballast fluorescent lights, a lot of the time the ballasts will go out on some of those lights, and it can cause these fuses to blow in here. You can have staples in your wiring, all kinds of things. Usually you have to hire a technician to find a direct short, because unless you know what you're doing, it can be difficult to find them. So I'm going to go ahead and set that aside. And we're going to use our handy box cutter opener here, which is a set of keys. We're getting ready to install this. We'll make a video installing it as well. I've done other ones, but we're going to keep doing them until we get one that we like. What's in the box? All right. Now, on the World Friendship Company 8955, which is your 55 amp lower converter section. This is the section that charges the RV's batteries, okay? It takes AC voltage, which right here is your AC wires, okay? And these two here, let me go ahead and pull this out so it's a little bit easier for you guys to see. Okay, this is your AC wires, your hot, your neutral, and your ground, okay? These bigger gauge wires, this is white one is typically your ground, and this red one is typically your positive. So you'll have to hook both of those up in order for this to charge. And when you do that, it typically hooks up to the positive from your RV will typically go to here, and then you'll have a VCC, which this typically comes from the converter itself. But you'll want to copy what they did on your RV as long as it's wired properly. We're not going to get into proper wiring in this video. This is more of like a show and tell, okay? So what happens to these when they go bad is they have diodes inside of them, and they actually will go bad. Or they also have all these little tiny mini capacitors. There's one here, 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 and it's got these bigger ones. I hope you guys can see them right here that I'm pointing at right there with my finger. Those are bigger capacitors, okay? When we take these apart, sometimes we'll find that the top of these capacitors have blown out. And when that happens, this needs to be replaced. Why does that happen? One common reason it'll happen is we will see that people are using their converter as a battery. They think just because when they plug in and they have 12 volt DC power, they don't need to worry about their batteries on their RV, when in fact it could not be more false than that. So you need to maintain your RV's batteries. And by maintain, if you have maintenance free batteries, all you need to do is replace them when it's time to replace them. Make sure you're not using old batteries that are no good anymore. When they're lead acid batteries and they're not maintenance free, you need to fill them up with distilled water. What will happen is over time they will boil, and all of that distilled water inside of them, that evaporates, okay? So we add distilled water. A lead acid battery comes filled up with a solution that's mixed by them with, you know, acid in it. And when we refill them with distilled water, there's enough acid left in the battery that it's still okay. So if your battery is constantly boiling, smoking, or anything like that, that could mean that your converter is potentially overcharging your batteries. So you want to make sure that this is charging right around 13.6 DC volts. If it's over 14.8, 14.9, 15 volts, we don't like that personally. We would like to see 13.8 volts DC. When it's not charging, it should be somewhere around 12.4 to 12.6 DC volts. You can get yourself a good Fluke voltmeter if you want to get a really good reading on what your voltage actually is. That's a true RMS voltmeter. I'll post a link in the description for those as well. But on these converters, they're fairly simple to swap out for RV technicians, but it is high voltage and low voltage. It takes 120 volts AC and converts it to 12 volts DC and charges your batteries. So think of this like a maintainer. So if this is maintaining your batteries so that they don't go dead and your batteries are bad, this is going to start to carry all of the load. And since this is a 55 amp converter, it can do that for a little while, but you're going to hear more noise out of it. The fan is going to increase in power. You're going to hear the fan turning more, especially if it's dirty, because these things should be blown out and dusted off as well, but nobody ever does it. Every time we pull them out, they're full of dust, dog hair, and everything you can think of. So you want to be mindful that you have good batteries, especially if you're replacing the converter, because if you don't have good batteries and you replace the converter, guess what? You're just going to be replacing a converter later down the road. So I hope some of this information was helpful for you guys. And until next time, safe travels. If you have any questions, you can post them below. As usual, you can see all the products that we discussed in this video down in the description below with links to the products we earn through affiliate links that we post in the description. So do me a favor, like the video, share the video. It helps us get more subscribers, and we'll see you guys in the next video.